Okay, let's talk about what is federated database, a system in which multiple databases appear to function as a single entity. However, the database typically involved in this kind of system exists independently of the others. Once the different databases are combined, one federated database is formed. So we talked about this Matillion pipeline, right? And then we talked about Snowflake. This is an example where multiple data sources coming together. But think about a situation where Oracle ERP is not there. There are different systems, like they have Anaplan for marketing, they have Tally for accounting, they have PeopleSoft for HR related thing. And then they brought in Oracle for CRM related module. So these are 4 different systems, but from a management perspective, you may want to see a single view, how many employees are working on this module and how the things are working. So your IT actually create a federated database, so which is mostly an staging database which takes the data from different systems and then federating it as a single source of information. So it's nothing, just taking different data sources and combining it in a database or multiple different database at a single point of time. So that is kind of like how the architecture you want to follow. But the objective is for your management or for your integration, you want to cover this federated database in a way. Now, what is GCP? We already talked about it. Host machine is a piece of physical hardware that hosts virtual machine. So in our case, if we host it on Oracle, so the machine that actually hosts it, not the one that we see as a VM, is actually called a host machine, where your software or the product is hosted. Now the next term is hybrid cloud. This is interesting. I'll take some time to explain it. So hybrid cloud is when we have a combination of multiple cloud offerings. We talked about on-prem and cloud in our example of data migration. But hybrid cloud is when we have a combination of, or the mix of, private, public and on-premise solution, which means we have all different kind of variety. So that is quite possible, and that's very practical as well. Some of the information that you want to keep confidential but highly scalable. So all these service providers also have on-prem version of their cloud as well. Not all, I think most of them. AWS has it, but not sure about Azure, GCP and Oracle. Oracle had it earlier for the enterprise version. So let's suppose that we want to use some of its capabilities on the private cloud. If we say it's confidential data, that some of the information I am okay to host it on public cloud with some of the checks necessarily with the users and all. And then some of the data like user management, I can host it on on-premise application. So if we have these kind of scenarios, we are calling this as a hybrid cloud architecture.